Welcome back to another episode with ByrdAdatto. So we have slowly been putting together a little mini series on developing your exit plan and the things you should be considering when you are thinking about either retiring or selling your practice. So far, we've actually had two. One, which is if I have to close my practice and walk away today, what do I need to consider? And then secondly, we had someone come in and talk about practice evaluations. We brought an outside expert in to talk about that. But today, Michael, we're going to start diving a little bit deeper, but let's kind of stop and reset the bar here and really talk about what's the big idea here when you're coming to developing your plan.
Yeah, let's acknowledge, that this is one of the trickiest things that our clients face. We have clients who've been through all, kind of career stages. Both of our fathers have retired from surgery in recent years. And what we see and we can relate to is picking the when. Like, when is the right time to do it? And what we find is that becomes a barrier to the big thing that we're going to talk about, which is the need to plan. And so I think that it's okay to acknowledge that you don't know the end date, and that you can acknowledge that and start building your plan. And that's going to put you with more options on what your ultimate strategy is. And so, like I said, we acknowledge that it's messy and it's hard. The big idea is that you've got to make a plan. And what we've distilled it down to is three basic steps that go into the process. And the first is a practice assessment. That is, where are you now? And that's lifting up the hood and getting a realistic look at the current state of affairs with your practice. And that's what today's episode will talk about. And going forward, the next step is, where do you want to be? And that's the really determining your late career goals for you with your practice and for you personally. And then the third step is the implementation stage, the strategy. It's how are you going to accomplish your goals and what plan of action are you going to take? And again, we'll cover that in a future episode.
Yeah, perfect. And so, as Michael said, we have those three steps. And so today we're really just going to concentrate on the practice assessment. And what we've done is we've broken down the practice assessment into four different areas. One is the financial health. The second is the legal health. Finally, your operational health. And of course, most importantly for a lot of people is the practice valuation. Now, again, we've had Don Barbo on here in a prior video really talking about how to come up with the value of a practice. So of the things we're going to discuss, we're going to skip that one because we dedicated an entire video to that. But let's go back to the three we're going to talk about now. And the first one we're going to talk about is the financial health. So the financial health is really, at the end of the day, really is about the Benjamins. Like, it's all about the Benjamins. It's you understanding where is your revenue coming from and how does it differ? Is it from just you performing professional services as a surgeon? Or are you one of those persons that have great ancillaries, such as some non-invasive services? Maybe you have an injectable side or a med spa side, or you have an ambulatory surgery center, or you even own your own office building. All these are ancillaries income that can help produce toward the bottom line of the value of your overall practice. And the other piece is you actually obviously have to understand what your overhead looks like to balance in that. So we've seen places like that have really high revenue, but to keep that up, they actually have to have a lot of staff. And we've seen other places with low revenue and low overhead, or vice versa. So the point being is understanding your financial health, understanding who your payer mix is. All these are very important factors when understanding your first piece of the practice assessment. And Michael, the second piece is just the legal health.
Legal health is understanding your corporate structure, and it's more than just you being able to say what you believe it to be. It's actually verifying it. We know so many times that we'll have a conversation with a client and they'll say, yes, I have this entity for my med spa and that entity for my surgery center and my practice entity. And then we start digging and realize that those two entities legally exist, but nothing has happened in them for years. And so you kind of get your arms around what's your legal structure, is what you think is actually happening. And then secondly, there is, in the world of healthcare, a regulatory assessment, and that is, are you doing anything that has risk of being illegal or non-compliant? because now's the time to start fixing those things, not when you're ultimately about to sell your practice.
Right. And so now that we have those first two, we look at our health wise, we're going to the final one, which is the operational health. Now, operational health is really evaluating your practice from the inside as to how is your staff set up? Are you a family business where maybe your spouse is the office administrator? Or maybe your team's been with you forever, which is great, except for the fact that it turns out to be that you're overstaffed. And some of the people that are working for you are basically retired themselves, even though they're certainly on your payroll. So when someone comes along and looks at you objectively as a third party, how would they view your staff? Would they view your staff as a valuable asset or a liability? And again, these are not easy conversations. I mean, Mike and I can talk about how much we love our team, and our team is everything to us. And so I know most of our clients, they feel the same way, but you have to think about how would a third party view it? And so this is, again, a good, honest look as to, from an operational perspective, how your health looks. So those are the three main ones we wanted to talk about. Again, financial health, legal health, and operational health. Michael, any other thoughts before we leave today?
One of the things I love about the practice assessment is we acknowledged at the beginning that this is a difficult thing for many of our clients to start to plan, is that the practice assessment is helpful even if you're not ready to start planning for your retirement. There's a double benefit to this in that you're improving the immediate infrastructure of your business by taking a look at it, and you're taking the first step towards building an exit plan.
It's perfect. Well, thanks for joining us. As I said, that we'll have a mini series. We'll be covering other aspects like pinpointing your goals and building your actual plan and other episodes. But that's all we have today, and we look forward to the next time. Michael, great to see you.
Great. Thank you.